still can't really go up there. I haven't gotten that closure yet, but I'm hoping when everything's finished, it won't be so hard for me.
Officer Brenna Hosey still thinks about that day. What was supposed to be a quiet Christmas morning turned out to be nothing of the sort.
There's that part of me that didn't want it to be real. Like, we're hearing this voice saying that there's a bomb that's going to go off, but I'm trying to tell myself someone's playing a really bad prank.
Sadly, it wasn't.
Evacuate now.
Is that you just never know when it's going to be your day to face something like that. And it happens in so many different forms, whether it's an officer-involved shooting, a bombing, an officer getting ambushed. We just lived it.
Nearly a year later, these officers continue to process what happened in different ways.
It was a traumatic event for sure and everything, but honestly, I've had good support. I've met a lot of great people, had a lot of great experiences after that have come of it.
We've all had awesome family support, had friends that are in pretty constant communication with me when this stuff is going on. I had recently gotten engaged right before it happened, so that was like, kind of baptism by fire as far as relationships go.
It's the emotional response of walking next to Sipus up second and realizing what was around the corner, and then hearing on his body cam, I'm the one screaming on the radio for James because I didn't know if he was alive. And that 10-second period of not knowing that is still really hard, and that's the emotional response I'll probably always have.
The focus now shifts on what's to come.
So it is very exciting to see where we're heading in the future and to come from what we were last year, what happened, but turn it into something positive. It's really great.
The group has one final message.
Thank you to all the citizens of Nashville for the blankets, the cards, the cookies, gift cards, everything that you all sent to us during that time. It really helped us get through. It's amazing. I still have all of those cards that everybody sent. Just to know that complete strangers was thinking of us, we truly appreciate that.
As you know, a very busy and lively street here on 2nd Avenue, but today a little bit more of a somber scene as residents walked up to this fence and looked back on that tragic day.
Walking to work from our garage, see a lot of the rubble and stuff, and it's sad thinking about all the buildings that used to be there.
Still a year later, the active construction site still a constant reminder for Mike's ice cream shop worker, Richard Davis, as he thinks back to the initial shock.
Scrambling to make sure everyone I knew who worked here was okay, everyone, that I knew who worked around the building was okay. It was a great big shock.
Evacuate now.
That sound heard for nearby businesses and repeatedly played back through television broadcasts for the entire nation to see.
We had heard about it a year ago when it happened, but, kind of went out of our minds, being from Florida.
But the Francos say that damage even worse in person than on TV. These Florida residents now visiting downtown Nashville, seeing the destruction firsthand.
I was just looking at the devastation to the buildings themselves, flame retardant to protect them and, just the devastation to the old architecture.
And trying to find the positives, the Francos telling me they're just thankful that innocent bystanders were able to make it out alive, some with only seconds to spare.
There was a really dark shadow over Nashville, up until I would say even into like April or May.
And another nearby business worker, Brandon Stubbs with the Escape Game, also trying to find the light in the midst of darkness.
We really try to keep, a positive atmosphere. The Escape Game is here to be an escape for people, especially in times like this. Everyone needs an escape every once in a while.
And unfortunately, since that tragedy, some businesses here have had to permanently shut their doors, or even some having to relocate because, as you know, it's been a very tough year amid the pandemic for these local businesses. And then, of course, with this Christmas Day bombing. But those still here, they do tell me that all they can do now is look forward and build back stronger. Although temporarily open, as you can see right behind me, this street is still home to an active construction site, and that could be the case for years to come.
A busy street that still carries a constant reminder of what happened here early last Christmas morning.
Evacuate now.
it's still a shock just to see that what was once a busy intersection for downtown is just a sad marker of someone having a bad day.
Mario Reeves with the Chicken Guy understands that good things take time to rebuild, but he feels for the neighboring businesses.
It just disheartened a lot of business owners like, hey, I gave it a good run.
And once popular spots like George Jones' restaurant and bar are now closed. And those still alive admit they've seen business slow down. Victims of the pandemic, followed by the bombing.
This isn't something that you would have expected to happen in real life, and it happened. We got a bomb on Christmas morning. We couldn't go and see our loved ones for a whole year. Some of our favorite places and businesses are affected.
And rebuilding is underway, but it's slow. Metro Councilman Steve Glover saying he's trying to expedite the process, but a historic district has unique roadblocks.
The challenge we have is the infrastructure there was old. I mean, 100+ years old.
Glover says there will be no quick fixes, but he says there could be some financial assistance in the near future from the city.
So it's very hard to say that, yes, it's going to happen, but I know the discussions are occurring, and we certainly need to keep an eye and a focus on that part of the town